district game, and Snake River's playing up at Snake River High School. So we just thought that we would have a lot of conflict of interest tonight. So thank you so much for coming. If it was your first time to be here, you need to write your name over here, and I'll send you all the rest of the emails. If you've already been here and you've written the emails in, then you're good, okay? So just every time you see somebody and they're new coming, make sure that they give me their email, and then I'll have them on my list, and they'll get to come. Right now, I want to tell you about this little invitation. This is an invitation to our next kitchen training work day, and it's going to be a work day. And it will be here. We're going to do it in 2 sessions. We're going to do a session from 9:30 until 11:30 in the morning, and then a session from 7 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. And we're thinking we're going to get a nursery so that if you want to bring your husband and have him help you to put your freezer meals together as a date that night, we could play music or something. And if you would like to, and then if you need to come during the day, if you want to come during the day and need to have someone for your children, then we're going to try to get a nursery for sure that next time. I didn't want to leave these on the table because I wanted you to have them at the beginning, so we'll just pass them around. Yes?
So is it, if you come in the morning, it's going to be the same thing at night?
Yeah. The
Okay,
same
so you,
8 freezer meals.
okay.
Okay, yeah, yes. And so, if you'll pass these around, it gives you time to think about it. The sign-up sheets are right in the back. Okay? Sign-up sheets are right in the back. And so when we dismiss, you'll be able to do that. I'd like to recognize Carol Hepworth and her daughter, Laura. They are technical people. How many of you got to see their work on the blog? Did anybody go to the blog? Yeah. We have had a lot of views on that blog, and all the training from last month is on there. Our goal with kitchen training is to build capacity within our community. And I'm so pleased to see so many people here tonight with all of the extra things that we have had going on. Now, I know lots of you probably think, why does Rhonda Butt teach this class? Because I am simply ordinary. I cook ordinary. Most of the things that I do are ordinary. And we found this little book, and we actually have a lot of these people that live in our community. The name of this book is Ordinary Mary. Ordinary Mary was so very ordinary that you'd never guess that she alone could change the world. This ordinary kid, she did. She changed the world. One ordinary day, skipping on her way to her ordinary school, to her ordinary house, she passed an ordinary vacant lot filled with ordinary bushes growing ordinary berries. Ordinary blue and juicy and delicious and lovely berries. Well, Ordinary Mary picked the ordinary berries and brought them in a big brown bowl to Mrs. Bishop's porch. What? Left berries in a big brown bowl on Mrs. Bishop's porch? That sneaky kid? She did. This made Mrs. Bishop very, very happy, so she baked a big batch of blueberry muffins and thought of 5 people who might have brought those beautiful berries. Then secretly she gave each one of them a plate. How great! 5 people got a plate. One of those 5 was her paper boy, Billy Parker. And when Billy saw his name on the note in the driveway on a plate, he quickly parked his bike and ate every crumb. Oh, yum, yum, yum. He ate every crumb. This made him so glad that the next 5 people got their papers on the porch and not in the bushes, where he often threw them. In fact, he even took them and handed them to them. One of those 5 was Mr. Stevens, who was so amazed that he smiled for 10 hours on the airplane, and then said to 5 different people who were carrying very heavy bags, "Here, let me help you." And he smiled, and they did too. One of those 5 was Maria, whose cranky little boy James stopped crying when Mr. Stevens played peekaboo with him until their ride came. When he waved goodbye, Maria exclaimed, How strange that a stranger would be so sweet. And the next day when she was out shopping, once, twice, 5 times, she did something nice for 5 different people. 5 times without stopping. One of those 5 was Joseph, old and bent and gray. He was standing in front of her in the line at the produce store when he said, "Oh, I guess I counted my money wrong. I really don't need these oranges." Little Jane reached out to him and gave him an orange from their basket, and Maria gave the coins to Joseph. "Here, take these. These oranges are on us." As Joseph shuffled to his bus, his heart was full and his eyes were wet and his hands did helpful things for the next 5 people he met. One of those 5 was Sarah, a college girl who was off to see the world and stopped at Joseph's shop. When her back broke and her things fell all over the floor, she said, "Oh, what will I do?" Joseph said, This is for you." And he gave her a new bag woven with his own hands in red and purple and green. "Oh, thank you," she said. "It's the loveliest bag that I've ever seen." And when Sarah left, she felt sunny as noon, and she just had to shine on 5 people real soon. One of those 5 was Sophia, whom she met on a boat, looking like the world might end, looking like someone without a friend. "What lovely blue eyes you have," Sarah said, "and they're just the color of the flowers in your lovely dress." "Oh, yes," said Sophia. "Oh, yes," said Sarah. The beautiful blue eyes shed happy tears. And when the boat trip was through, Sophia called 5 people to make them happy too. One of those 5 was Tom, her son, the doctor, who was having a hard day. "Hi," she said. "I love you, Tom." "Well, how great to hear your voice. I always need my mom." The doctor, Tom, was so cheered up that on his next break, he bought a big bunch of bright balloons for 5 young patients, and he handed them out right then and there. One of those 5 was Peter, a little boy who went home from the hospital that very day. Gratitude for that big bunch of bright balloons filled him and thrilled him, and spilled out of him and on to the next 5 people who came his way. One of those 5 was Eric, a teenage boy whose sacks were stuffed way too much. When one dropped on the sidewalk, Peter stopped his play and rushed right over, saying, "Hey, Super Wheels to the rescue!" Well, Eric, no longer stressed, was very impressed and made a mental note that very afternoon to help 5 people. One of those 5 was Di, his 10-year-old sister, who didn't have many friends and who was very shy. When Eric said, "Hey, sis, want to come to the park and learn how to ride my skateboard?" she looked at him wide-eyed. "Serious?" she cried. "Sure," he cried. And because of her brother, Di decided maybe she could be a friend to 5 others. One of those 5 was Louise, a homeless woman under the trees. She could hardly believe her ears when she heard Di say, "May my brother and I buy you a hot dog and a drink at the stand today?" Could it be true? Someone actually cared enough to give her food and a smiley-faced ring that was practically new. Louise was so pleased that she decided that even though she did nothing, she would find 5 others and give them something. One of those 5 was Mr. Taylor, who lost his wallet in the park. Louise found it, full of 5s and 10s and 20s. Oh, what she could do with all of that money! But she found his name, and she called his home, and over he came. He was so impressed that she was honest, in spite of being poor, that he offered her a job in his store and vowed to do something generous for 5 people more. One of those 5 was Kate, a woman on vacation who went to see a show she'd heard was a sensation. "Oh, no," she said. "It's sold out. I'm going home tomorrow." And her face was filled with sorrow. Mr. Taylor held out his ticket. "I live here," he said. "I can go any time. You take mine instead." Kate loved the show, and she was so touched that she thought buying 5 presents for 5 people back home would be real fun. And one of those 5 presents was a little heart necklace for ordinary Mary. her niece, and you should have seen her eyes light up in surprise. Mary what? Mary, ordinary Mary? Yes, ordinary Mary's extraordinary deed had come full circle and had changed the lives of every person living. You see, when Mrs. Bishop made muffins from Mary's blueberries, not only did the paper boy, Billy Parker, but the other 4 people too made 5 people smile, and those 5 did too. And after a while, it was only 15 days, love was sent to every person, everywhere. Just see what it looks like. The first day, 1, 5, 25, 125. And this is in 15 days. There are 6 billion people living on our planet, and they had done good deeds for 6,103,515,625. Well, 6 billion is even more than all of the people on the planet. So after everyone had a share and everyone knew that somebody cared, there was even some love left over. And that is ordinary Mary.
Wow.